Today on Legends of Rod and Reel, hold on, you're fishing alongside a South Texas legend.
Probably that's them right there.
Captain Billy Sandifer long ago vowed to fish like few men ever do.
All who seek fish are not created equal. Some anglers who ply the waters possess a passion unbridled, with catching skills unmatched. With all fish, they see eye to eye. They are the legends of Rod and Reel.
As old as time itself, the ocean constantly rolls. Man has always worked the sea, but few like Billy Sandifer.
Mother ocean.
Billy's morning routine never changes.
They're talking about 1 to 2 foot seas, southwest winds.
He meets the morning sun on the Padre Island National Seashore.
When we hit the beach, I'm trying to say a set of prayers. And I say, good morning, Mother Ocean. I have loved you all of my life, and I love you now. Let's go fishing.
This South Texas fishing guide wanders 60 miles of National Seashore Beach, back and forth every day.
Longest stretch of beachfront in North America.
Just where Billy wants to be. This is a story about a South Texas legend, a fisherman who dedicated his life to chasing the biggest and baddest saltwater species from where else? This beach.
He's Billy. I mean, he's a fishing guide extraordinaire.
With an old salty fishing trot to match.
I've slammed the door before and you just hear the inside of the door just falling down. I like that way.
See that old Suburban? Think of it as Billy's boat. Much needed on a day like this when Billy and his clients chase Jack Crevalle.
There's fish under those birds on the right-hand side, right out yonder. A jackfish has been referred to as the barroom brawler of the sea. I'm quite fond of them.
South Texas jacks swim along the beach at near 30 miles an hour.
The predators will push bait fish to the surface and make them accessible to the birds.
If Billy can spot the right birds feeding, he'll find the jacks.
Everybody says, what do you look for when you're driving down the beach? Oh, boiling water full of blood, dorsal fins and tails everywhere, the screaming of millions of little bait fish yelling, help me, help me. Where are they?
He's basically hunting kind of a deal, you know. He's driving, he's looking for that certain something.
What everybody wants to do is set up the tent, the lawn chair, the barbecue pit, and that's cool. But you're fishing for a burn and a buzz. You're not fishing for fish.
Billy's buzz
Oh, they're right there.
comes from moments like this.
They're moving too fast.
You learn a lot from that man for sure about fishing.
Probably that's them right there. Gets kind of hectic out here. Hey! Get you some, big boy!
Yep, just another day for Billy Sandifer.
Jason's hooked up. Paul got his. Good. No! This doesn't make any sense. Running and gunning. There you go, boy. Whatever it takes, you've got to get across that white water. There's a man with one on. This is a pretty good fish. Ooh, I like that one. There you go. No! He cut me off on Jason's line.
This is Captain Billy Sandifer's story. Think of jack fishing as a warm-up.
It's the hunt. It's the hunt.
Billy's got bigger fish to fry, so to speak.
There's the hook.
Much bigger fish.
I'm just really, really blessed to be a common man who's had the wonderful, wonderful opportunity to live a very uncommon life.
Up next, Billy needs big hooks to help him wrestle his favorite prey.
Hello, baby.
A fish that long ago made him famous.
Welcome back to Legends of Rod and Reel.
To understand the life and times of Billy Sandifer, the Gulf Coast fishing guide, you have to go way back to the days of Billy Sandifer, the Kid. Billy grew up a South Texas farm boy who seemed to always find a way to sneak off to the Bob Hall Pier.
June, part of July, I would live here every summer. That's where I learned to fish. Okay.
Billy quickly learned to love life on the beach, but right about that time, he found himself headed overseas in a time of national conflict.
21 months, Northern I Corps, from Da Nang to the DMZ.
After 2 years in Vietnam, Billy moved to Cuba, where his military run continued. There, the sea called again.
Lived on a 36.5-foot double-ended lifeboat I rehabbed and chased big sharks and commercial fished out of it.
After 7 years and 5 months in uniform, Billy came home to South Texas.
Slept with a 45 under my pillow, dog bark, car horn, honk, anything. I just woke up all the time, you know, ready to shoot somebody. I finally just gave up, started spending the nights out, just driving out on the beach and spending the nights.
And he was down here, I think a year and a half or so, living on the beach, surf fishing.
Essentially homeless, Billy learned every nuance of the Padre Island National Seashore.
It calms me. It's soothing to me. And it was the only peace I could find.
Billy vowed to use but never abuse this coastal ecosystem.
Papa, no!
Ever since, Old Mother Sea's been taking care of Billy and his fishing clients.
The highest prized food fish in North America. Isn't he pretty?
Pretty fish.
Actually, this is an Atlantic pompano, and a permit is a giant pompano.
In years of guiding, Billy found a need to pay back this wild place. How? Well, the answer laid all around him.
I guess the currents in the Gulf are such that anything that gets dumped off a rig or thrown off a boat washes up on this stretch of beach.
60 miles of beach full of Gulf Coast garbage. Billy, he just couldn't take it.
We all come down here to utilize this resource. How about a little payback every now and then? I pulled every favor I had ever done, and 330 people showed up and did the impossible.
His one-day beach cleanup cleared 50 tons of garbage off the Padre Island National Seashore. That was 13 years ago. Billy's big shell cleanups done nothing but grow ever since.
I'm still a squad leader, and when we hit that beach, we get it done. The Native American believed he was put here to be a steward of Mother Earth. I believe that, and I believe that's the only reason I was put here.
Actually, Billy's role on this beach is bigger than just that of a protector.
This hook has got to be sharpened. More hookups, and that's what it's all about.
A lifetime of fishing here helped Billy learn a fairly rare form of angling. It's sure not for everyone.
720 yards of 60-pound test on these. When I came back from Vietnam, I needed a war. There wasn't one. I needed an enemy that I could target, get my adrenaline, and yet wouldn't have to go to the penitentiary for it.
The answer hid out there, somewhere offshore.
Son, if you're going to pick a fight in a bar, you pick the biggest, meanest sucker in there.
Billy figured sharks were the only opponent truly tough enough. So he set out to master shark fishing.
The snaps are 400-pound test.
Right off the beach.
One of the primary rules of shark fishing is the leader must be longer than the intended quarry.
Turns out, sharks would forever change Billy Sandifer.
They're the speed freaks of the sea. I am naturally wired to the maximum. Look at it go down. Look at it go.
Still ahead, Billy tries to tango with a Gulf Coast brawler. Will he land it?
You're watching Legends of Rod and Reel.
Those who know of Gulf Coast shark tales know of Billy Sandifer and his fish tales that come true.
One right this side of the last bar and one right the other side of the last bar. Sound okay to you?
A South Texas shore fisherman, Billy's been chasing Padre Island sharks longer than anyone around.
You want me to walk that bait out here? Yeah, there's a lot of grass. I'm gonna need a pretty good angle on them.
Shark chasers need their baits out 450 yards or more, way out past the breakers.
The reason we go at that angle is the current's moving to the north.
Billy used to swim them out by hand. These days, it's his lime green kayak or a friend helps out.
The waiting game, once you get it out there, hopefully they're not wait too long.
You see, Billy knows this beach and he knows Gulf Coast sharks.
Both my wrists and both my elbows are totally history. You know what it's from? Strain from catching too many fish. Huh? How's that for an occupational hazard?
Billy's got a rare passion for stretching line with a monster. For Billy, it's the chase.
And nothing gives me a grander feeling. I found him, I stalked him, I baited him, and I landed him. And then, because I have a slight amount of sense, I realized his importance, and I turned him loose so that they can get out there and make future generations for my and your future generations.
It's all about that moment, those few sweet seconds.
There he goes. There he is. Get it, get it.
When all heck breaks loose.
Hello, baby. How's your mama been since I left? Come catch your fish. Huh?
There's something on there.
Your line's almost straight ahead of you now. If you remember, it was almost, it was at a 30-degree angle.
Well, arms are getting tired.
Let's arm through the hole.
These days, Billy's into passing on his rod. He wants to teach others to appreciate what he already knows about these fish.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
And this beach.
These guys are going to shark fish forever, so they might as well learn a little bit.
This is good stuff right here.
He's got his arms extended fully. It's not helping. I want you to learn Go up there and find the adjustment and pull that tighter. Bring him closer to the reel so he can use that tool more.
I think, yeah, he's moving now. He's off the gaining the line.
How much line you got out, brother? Oh, heck.
Getting close?
Yeah, 250 yards.
There it is right there.
Y'all get all your pictures. She's healthy. She's not hurt right yet.
In another fish caught, Billy sees success.
She's pregnant. Yeah, this is a breeder. She'll have her pups between next March and June.
Another fish caught means another fish released.
Come on, sweet cheeks. Let's go walking.
Billy walks each of them back to the sea. And as the sun sets on another day, Billy finds himself in his element, at one with old Mother Ocean.
She's on me from the second I saw her. Still does. And it's perfectly okay.
Still ahead, Billy changes up the pace and falls in love. Really? You're watching Legends of Rod and Reel.
Now back to more Legends of Rod and Reel.
Billy Sandifer cruises the South Texas coast. He trolls in his old truck,
There's quite a bit of activity out there.
looking for Gulf Coast fish. A beach fisherman forever, Billy enjoys watching the world pass him by. These days, that sensation's a little bit different.
I have no desire to be content.
Yep, shore fisherman Billy Sandifer bought himself a boat. A sudden love affair no one will break up.
The first time I ever got on that boat, it was like an old pair of shoes. I've never been on a vessel that you just immediately felt like you had been there all your life.
You see, a while back, the U.S. government confiscated the old 25-foot Mexican drug runner.
Should have done this a long time ago.
Now it belongs to Billy.
There's nothing I want other than this boat. I'm totally satisfied with this boat.
Because it's history.
It's got about the same amount of history I do. We suit each other.
Billy knows that old boat will take him far beyond his cast from shore and way out past the breakers. You see, he's got a lot of years fishing from shore. This boat takes Billy to new water.
Boca grips. Those reds should be right where we are.
Where he'll search for that perpetual feeling.
Oh! Oh! Stretch that string, you redfish, you!
Waist deep, Billy Sandifer is a fisherman.
Smacked it. That's all right, I smacked him too. One good smack deserves another. I am happy. I'm who the Creator intended me to be. You old wetty fish, you. Hello, Guppy. Excuse me. 7 on the nose. 7. Any pretty? All right, sweet cheeks. You ready to go home? Go tell them the rest of them you've been on TV.
Yes, Billy's life lies in what is the South Texas coast, which is why he ends his day here,
I'd like to see Paladuro Canyon.
sitting under the front yard tree with those he calls friends.
I guess at least every other week, usually on a Friday about this time. Whoever shows up, shows up.
Biologists, professors, those most educated on all that is wild around here sit with Billy and talk.
And I think a lot of what's done in the Corpus area is because of what happens out here under the trees.
The greatest thing in it is the wonderful, wonderful people that I've met along the road.
Out on the sand, where Mother Ocean greets the land, the Padre of Padres holding church.
It ain't the destination, homeboy. It's traveling the road. That's what it's all about.
Forces a man his soul to search.
In some way, these front yard debates bring understanding to Billy Sandifer's story. These moments teach us who he is, what he does, and what Billy Sandifer says really matters.
This earth I love for all these years. This life I love.
It is the stuff of legends.
And someday, when it's time, I'm just gonna walk up on one of those sand dunes, sit just like I am right now, hold that hat down, and disappear.
This life I love till I disappear.
And you guys can all scratch your heads, not about where I went, but was he actually ever there?